State's going to touch it first, so we'll get a look at Devin Leary as the Cavaliers try to extend a 9-game home winning streak that started in November of 2018. In fact, Bronco Mendenhall's squad has won their last 5 ACC games here at Scott Stadium. Virginia in orange, NC State in white. Brian Delaney will kick it away. Ricky Person and Trent Penix deep for the Wolfpack. And Person will take it halfway back, touch a knee, and the Wolfpack will start from its 25-yard line. And Tim, here comes the sophomore redshirt from Sicklerville, New Jersey, and Devin Leary.
Yeah, he's a guy that's got a lot of talent.
A year ago. And of course, Tim Beck didn't see him throw live until the fourth quarter at Virginia Tech. And here is Leary for 1st and 10. That's Person in the backfield with him. And Ricky Person cannot break away from Nick Jackson on the first snap of the ball game, Tim.
You know, when you think about this Virginia defense, Wes, you know, they're good inside. 3 good inside players to help these linebackers kind of run and hit guys, try to win on early downs.
2nd and 10, and Leary on a quick snap, and will step out of bounds up near the 30-yard line. Nick Jackson, again, the closest Cavalier to Devin Leary. Very quickly, 3rd down for NC State, Tim, a group that went 7 of 16 last week at Pittsburgh.
They want to go fast, but you can't go fast and have too many 3-and-outs.
Leary down the sideline and looking for Devin Carter, and broken up on the play by Devontae Cross. So a 3-and-out for the Wolfpack.
And that's a nice play by Devontae Cross. This is a Virginia defense that a year ago was good on 3rd down. Last week against Clemson really struggled. But Devontae Cross playing some good football for them. Does a good job of playing the ball there.
And we get our first look at Trenton Gill, the NC State punter, who's 3rd in the ACC at 45.1. Billy Kemp deep to return for Virginia. And the Cavaliers' first punt return of the season is from Kemp. And he will dive back up the field for maybe a yard. Pierre Lewis downfield for the tackle for the Wolfpack. And here is Brennan Armstrong, the former Shelby, Ohio high school whippet, who played 3 sports in North Central Ohio: football, basketball, and baseball for the Whippets. I love the nickname. And then, Tim, as a 14-year-old, he had a 300-200 game.
And I think in that game there was about 150 points scored. We talked about it in the open, Wes. He's a tough, gritty player. Like, I think he literally could play linebacker if he wasn't a quarterback. And I think this coaching staff at Virginia knows, you know, that they need to kind of accentuate his strengths, which are using him as a runner at this point in his career.
Talapapa on 1st down, no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Armstrong. That's Davis, the freshman, in motion. A little flip to Talapapa. We'll get the Cavaliers about 4 on the play. And Virginia, a little bit like NC State, not wasting any time in their first possession.
You know, moving fast, but you know, both teams finding themselves in 3rd and 6s. And teams that move fast, Wes, it's important that they get that first down to get into a rhythm.
Virginia at 36% on 3rd down, 12th in the league. And that ball is overthrown into the bench area against Tony Poljan.
Yeah, Virginia's trying to isolate Tony Poljan here. He's 6'7". Katie mentioned it in the open. He's going up against 6'4" Malik Dunlap, and Brennan Armstrong's got to give his big tight end a chance to touch the football. Throwing it out of bounds doesn't help. Basically a long foul ball. It's probably what, you know, they're talking about on the sideline, is give him an opportunity to play it. Otherwise, it's a wasted play.
So Armstrong, the one pass to Poljan incomplete. And so 3-and-out for both schools in their opening possession. Nash Griffin will punt it away. Thayer Thomas is deep for the Wolfpack. And Jerry Magalanis,
Virginia, their first of the half,
has awarded Virginia a timeout. So a bit of a balky start with the Wolfpack and Cavaliers in Charlottesville on a big Saturday of ACC football.
You know how we come for nothing, not
Food delivery just got more rewarding. Now the Grubhub gives you rewards when you order your fave foods. Want a hamburger?
Well, 2 minutes gone. Each school's had it once. Both have gone 3 and out. Virginia, Tim, with a timeout as they got ready to punt here before Nash Griffin will offer it to Thayer Thomas, who's deep for NC State.
Yeah, Virginia's just 10 players on the field, which is why they use that timeout, Wes. And, you know, those are the kinds of things, especially early in a season, where coaches, you know, are driven nuts about that kind of stuff. Is you never know if you need it at the end of the half.
Thomas's only punt return, 21 yards at Virginia Tech a couple of weeks ago, and he will watch that one hit and be down toward the 32-yard line, and that'll give Devin Leary a second possession for the Wolfpack. Well, Dave Doran, tell you what, NC State, like a lot of schools, has kind of been through the ringer a little bit. Theirs in August for all the COVID and contact tracing involved in it, as we mentioned at the top with Devin Leary. So the opener was postponed. Once they finally got on the road, they beat Wake Forest. That was a heck of a ball game, Tim. And then lose at Virginia Tech, come back, win at Pitt last week. Here is Bam Knight to the 36. Gain of about 4 on first down for Zonovan Knight.
To your point, a bit of an up and down start, kind of surprising the effort, you know, at Virginia Tech. And I think Dave Doran was pleased with the response a week ago in Pitt. Now it's about stringing wins together.
Here's a gift to Knight, trying to get to the left side, and he runs right into Zane Zandier. Big play by Zero.
Was a big play by Zero. It is funny seeing that number out there, Wes. This guy's a good player. He's a run and hit linebacker. Plays downhill. Look at him diagnose it. Basically beat the back block of the tackle, Tyrone Riley. Just basically fire your gun. See it and go hit it.
3rd down and 7 now for the Wolfpack. A 2-by-2 look here for Devin Leary. Zips it down the middle of the field. Thayer Thomas the catch across midfield. Big play by Thomas. D'Angelo Amos, who's starting for Joey Blunt, makes the tackle.
It's a nice job in pass protection by Bam Knight, and it's a good ball in traffic by Devin Leary. Thayer Thomas was coming up with some big catches. Big one there.
Leary pumped it and then resets and throws to Knight. Another Wolfpack first down to the Virginia 35-yard line. Penny play by Leary, Tim. Tackle made by Nick Grant.
It sure was. He was looking for Thayer Thomas again. Decided to pull it back at the last minute, which is part of the reason that check down was so wide open.
Boy, just a couple of good snaps for NC State and already in Virginia territory at the 35. Knight, beg your pardon, trying to get to the edge. Ooh, got picked up and slammed at the point of impact. Brenton Nelson, the safety.
Yeah, Virginia got a lot of experience in the secondary. Brenton Nelson, one of those guys, and you know, these running backs for NC State, not easy to tackle. It's a pretty nice play by Brenton Nelson.
See Kerry Angela in the tight end as a wing to the right. 2nd down and 9 for the Wolfpack. Leary might have caught the Cavaliers leaning. Back foot throw and short of Knight, the intended receiver. So very quickly, 3rd down and 9 here for NC State.
If you're NC State West, you want to stay out of these known passing situations. I think this really is the strength of the Virginia defense, is their ability to disguise. And so you get into these 3rd and longs, they often fool the quarterback. And so I think in these situations right here is where you can get into trouble if you're NC State.
Keon Lassane in the ball game, the bottom of the screen. Here is Leary, hit as he throws, and it is caught. Porter Rooks, and it's a touchdown for NC State. Everything was happening around Devin Leary, and a great catch on the back end from Porter Rooks.
It is a great catch on the back end. You mentioned everything happened around Devin Leary. He misses the corner blitz. That's why he's standing in there with so much kind of poise and calmness in the pocket.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
Juggling catch by Porter Rooks.
I agree with you, Wes. Yeah, I agree with you that it's a juggling catch, because he is juggling it, but I think he's got his arms underneath that before it moves. This is one of those plays where it was nearly an awful play for North Carolina State, but Leary's able to just get it off, and Rooks, well, I don't know. It's hard for me to see if that ball moves a little bit kind of as he's going to the ground. You know, the ball can touch the ground if he's got control of it.
Well, he has control out of the roll, doesn't he?
I think he's clearly got control out of the roll. The question I have is here. It's juggling it right now.
Okay.
But as he goes to the ground, does the ball move after it hits the ground?
Well, here's a third look. This is our 3rd or 4th. Boy, Dennis Lanius and our director's doing a great job showing us all these angles here. Hard to see what the ball does, but you clearly see he has it on the roll.
Listen, I think because it was ruled a touchdown, it'll stay a touchdown. And you see Leary get hit by Cross, who's coming on the corner blitz. Does a good job of hanging in there. I'm not sure that he felt him. I don't think he knew that he was coming. Their protection that was called was not prepared to pick it up. And so because Cross doesn't get there in time, there's opportunities down the field. It's a good throw, and Porter Rooks, who just has 5 catches on the season, coming into today, comes up with a big one there, in my opinion.
True freshman from Charlotte. Played his final year at Myers Park, where Drake May was his quarterback. And Jerry Magalhaes, a lot of conversation here. Dave Dorn very interested, obviously, as is Bronco Mendenhall. But Trenton Gill is on the field here. So it's been overturned. And we will wait on Jerry Magalhaes' interpretation here as the punter is come out for the Wolfpack.
The ground assisted with the catch. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass. It will be 4th down.
Big momentum shift for Virginia here early.
It's
huge. For NC State, it's a heck of a catch.
It is, and I just think that, you know, he's got kind of clear possession as he rolls over, but I think when that ball hits the ground, there's, you know, I guess enough movement to it that the officials felt like, in the description we just got there, that the ground assisted in the catch.
So, Tim, a couple of weeks ago, you saw Christopher Dunn kick a 53-yarder in Blacksburg, which was his career best. He's hit 14 straight field goals. He's 4th nationally. And this will be 51.5 for Dunn to put NC State on the board. The kick is away, and it is hit the crossbar and bounces back. It'll snap a streak of 14 in a row for Dunn by inches.
By inches is right. Usually not a great snap, good hold, and you know, it just didn't look like he got all of it, Wes, and you rarely see that happen. Wow.
Sometimes it matters which way the ball hits. Virginia's second possession from the 34, and Armstrong picks up almost 10 on first down as the Cavaliers get started again offensively. Marker down. I'm really interested to see how NC State handles this piece of adversity.
Foul. Legal block below the waist. Offense, number 79. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Penalty is on Reinkensmeyer, the starting left guard, making his 40th start today for Virginia.
You know, one of the things Bronco Mendenhall talked about was, you know, trying to help Brennan Armstrong get off to better starts and get him comfortable. I think running him is, you know, one of the ways you can do that. But Bronco also talked about the guys around him being better. And so when you have a good positive play on first down, just to be called back because of an illegal block below the waist, obviously not what he's looking for.
Talapapa checks out of the backfield for Armstrong on second down. Poljan across the middle. The catch. And Tanner Engel right there to chop down Tony Poljan. Shane Simpson has come in the backfield now. Transfer from Towson. They'll toss it to him to the left side. NC State rallying quickly. Ibrahim Kante to the football along with Drake Thomas, the linebacker. Well, Brennan Armstrong, here we go, Tim. Once again, the opening 15 minutes not been very kind to the young men.
It is not, and they found themselves in some tough third down situations. None tougher than this one here. You know, 3rd and 10 plus, not an ideal spot for a quarterback. It's off to a slow start.
Thomas or Armstrong, and it is intercepted. Shaheem Battle comes up with the pick for the Wolfpack. So the rough opening period continues for Brennan Armstrong, and now his 3rd start.
Yeah, and this is just a bad decision and a bad throw. There's a lot of bodies, you know, around Terrell Jana as he's running to the corner, and, you know, Battle just sees it, falls off on the inside, and you see what I mean about a bad throw. It's a miss outside. And I think these are the moments that you have to learn about what you can and can't call with your young quarterback who's struggling as a passer. You know, Brennan Armstrong, you know, I think in some of these situations, when you're in your own end, it's 3rd and long, screen draw might be the better plan of attack until he gets into a rhythm.
So the Wolfpack gets it back at midfield. And Ricky Person opens as the back with Devin Leary. The veteran Person trying to find some room, and we'll push it for 4 on first down. Tim, I went back and kind of looked at as Charles Snowden was involved on the tackle. Ricky Person 2 years ago, when these clubs last met, 14 carries, 108 yards. And there are a handful of guys really for both schools that were in that game a couple of years ago, but it also shows you the dynamic of moving on from Ryan Finley and moving on from Bryce Perkins and others off these respective clubs a couple of years ago. Here is Rooks with another catch, and this will be close to a first down for the Wolfpack. Knocked out of bounds by Nick Grant. Devin Leary, who played with a ton of poise last week in his 2nd start of the season, or his 1st start of the season, his 6th career start for Dave Doran's team. First and 10. And Person picks up about 4 there.
It's interesting seeing the tempo that North Carolina State wants to operate with. Looks like Virginia is holding their defensive call sometimes, you know, to get a look. I thought they were late getting it in that last time. I would not be surprised, as Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator for North Carolina State, likes to go fast, but he also likes to use the tempo. Would not surprise me to just see them start to go at breakneck pace to see if Virginia gets the call in on time.
2nd and a half dozen. Leary very patient in the pocket and hits the crossing route, and that's Porter Rooks near the Cavalier 10-yard line. Boy, Porter Rooks has come up big here. Flag down on the play.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 91. Half the distance to the goal penalty added on to the end of the play, first down.
Mandy Alonso on the late hit.
Yeah, and Rooks is the man early in this first half. You see the nice catch on the sideline. It was a good read by Leary, and then that's just too late. Too many steps by Mandy Alonso before he ends up hitting Devin Leary. It's the right call by the officials.
So ball spotted, half the distance, just inside the 6 here, 1st and goal, and Bam Knight's come back in the ball game. And you see Autenreith, the tight end, is also in the contest. That's him in motion, 42, and here is Bam Knight. Maybe a yard on the play for Knight. And how about NC State's impressive red zone offense? 11 touchdowns in 12 drives.
And I feel like they've been creative with what they've done in the red zone. And we've seen Ricky Person throw a touchdown pass. We've seen the quarterback motion out of the backfield. I think Tim Beck's had a nice plan down here.
2nd down and goal. Leary. And underneath, this is caught, and the touchdown for Trent Penix. So Penix, who was their leader in special teams tackle coming in, hadn't gotten many snaps from scrimmage, now has a touchdown, and NC State's got the lead.
Well, we know they're deep at running back. I don't know that we thought it was going to be Trent Penix out of the backfield. It's a little slide route. It's good design there. A little kind of play action, almost like a zone read look, and then you slide Penix across the formation. He just kind of gets lost in the shuffle. It's an easy completion. It's a good play design and more creativity in the red zone by Tim Beck.
And Christopher Dunn to add the point. And it is 7-0 NC State. 6 plays, 50 yards, 238, and Trent Penix, the touchdown catch for the Wolfpack. And Devin Leary throws his 6th
Personal
touchdown
foul,
pass of the year.
Kicker, defense. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
So a roughing the kicker penalty on the Cavaliers. That'll help NC State on the kick, but as the rain falls in Charlottesville, 7-0 NC State.
Yes. More by bundling home and car insurance.
Well, you want to know about guys that have been successful? There's a good look at 2 of them. Phillip Rivers and Russell Wilson for NC State. Rivers, of course, shattered almost every school record, ACC record for that matter. 51 consecutive starts in Raleigh, 4 bowl games, and then, of course, Wilson 3 seasons, 8,500 yards of passing, and the kick from midfield will not be returned, so Virginia will scrimmage from its 25. And Devin Leary was impressive last week, Tim, in Pittsburgh. I mean, you look at the numbers, 336 yards, 4 scores, the comeback. How about that? Anytime you join a list that has Russell Wilson on, it's got to be a good thing, right?
Happy to join any list that Russ is on. And Devin Leary's got a lot of talent. The thing he doesn't have is a ton of experience. And I think last week was one of these moments they feel like they can build on with him.
Poljan steps out of a tackle of Dunlap at the far side, and then taken down after about a yard. The big Virginia tight end, the transfer from Central Michigan, who's off to a great start, had 45 career receptions for the Chippewas in the MAC. 2nd and 8 it'll be here for Armstrong. And there is Talapapa. And marker down on the play here. It's a hold on the Cavaliers. Virginia now, by the way, has been outscored 28-0 in the opening period.
There are two
so
fouls
far
on
through
the
the
play,
first
both against the offense.
2 and quarter.
Holding number 55 is declined. Holding number 87 is also declined. The result of the play is accepted. Third down.
Tanner Engel makes this play. You see him bring the pressure. He basically times up his blitz, which leads to the hold from Tony Poljan, and it's also what disrupts the play. Tanner Engel, a guy kind of been in and out of the lineup because of injury. He's a smart, aggressive football player, and that's a great play there.
Well, State gives Virginia a free one here. Armstrong going to take the shot down the field and looking for Terrell Jana, and their flags as Dunlap and Engel collide. And penalty marred first quarter continues here in Charlottesville. See what referee Magallanes and his crew sort out here.
There are two fouls on the play, one against each team. Offside, defense, personal foul, face mask, number 10 offense. Penalties will offset. Third down.
Penalty was called on the running back, Paris Jones, who was seeing action in the backfield for the first time. So we'll reset here. Third and a full 10 for the Cavaliers. That's Poljan in motion. And Armstrong to throw. Thought about running with it and does now, and will be chopped down behind the line by Dunlap. Great reaction, it looked like, to Armstrong here.
Really good reaction to Armstrong. This really did a lot of his damage a week ago against Clemson. It's a design pass play, and he would take off and run. But it's just a three-man rush, drop 8, and everybody's got their eyes back in at the quarterback. So when he decides to take off and run, look at the Wolfpack just swarm to the football.
Malik Dunlap's made a lot of plays here early for Tony Gibson's defense. And Nash Griffin will send it back to the pack with Thayer Thomas waiting. And
Second charge timeout of the half, Virginia.
so Virginia will take its second timeout just ahead of the 4-minute mark. We continue from Charlottesville with ACC football right after this. Back, Katie George. ACC football presented by Geico. NC State 7, Virginia nothing. A couple of timeouts here, Tim, for the Cavaliers ahead of punts in this opening period.
Yeah, really inexcusable at this point to not have 11 guys out on the field to punt the football, and really uncharacteristic of a Bronco Mendenhall coached football team.
Nash Griffin will punt toward Thayer Thomas, and it is touched up by Virginia's Elliott Brown. 43-yard the punt by Brown, and that brings us to game 2 of our doubleheader that comes up. Oh my goodness, we go back to the old series here. The Panthers wearing royal blue pants, by the way, today, Tim. Show up at Alumni Stadium to see PC. Phil Jerkovic put it in the sky 56 times last week for the old alma mater. Chris Cotter and Mark Herzlich and Kelsey Riggs standing by at 4.
Hey, a lot to digest there. Those old pit unis are sweet. And yeah, new look Boston College offense, putting it in the air that many times.
42-yard line for NC State. Leary to the near side. And Emeka Emezi extends his catch streak now with his first grab today to 24 straight games.
Don't you feel, Wes, that he's a guy that they really can get more production out of? Big, talented receiver, good hands.
There's Jordan Houston on his first try of the afternoon. And he will have a first down, cracking the 48-yard line before Zane Zandier makes the tackle. When you kind of add all of Tim Beck's toys together, though, Tim, I mean, you got 3 backs, you got 3 really good receivers, including the tight end Angeline. I mean, you got a lot to work with, and a decent offensive line too, with a good bit of experience.
I agree with you, and I think they just wanted to be more explosive than they were a year ago, and kind of already proven that they can do that.
Whoa! Little option play, and that got destroyed by Noah Taylor.
Yeah, Noah Taylor just coming off the edge. You're exactly right. It's an option play. That takes a little bit of time to develop, and Bernie's the guy that they're optioning off of, but Noah Taylor diagnoses it, and it's exactly how you want to do it. And North Carolina State fortunate that didn't lead to a turnover.
Yep, Ricky Persons come back in for 2nd and long after the 5-yard loss. Leary tried to set up something for Amezi again, almost like a little bit of a screen, and it got deflected on the play. And you get a look at Richard Burney, who is 280 pounds and a guy who's a veteran in this program, playing in rare 6th year of football in Charlottesville.
And it's a huge play by him, because that's probably out the gate if he doesn't get a hand on it.
Leary across the middle and caught in traffic, and there's Emeka Amezi, brought down by Devontae Cross, but that's another 1st down. And a 16-yard throw.
You see the way Leary has the ability to just drive the football. I mean, it comes out of his hand, hot. I mean, it just got a nice, clean, stroke to his throwing motion, and I think the accuracy of the throws really going to help these wide receivers.
Straight ahead is Person on a 1st down carry. Tim, his ability, and you just talk about, he's got a pretty good arm, right, in terms of strength. Looks like he can make, quote, all the throws, right? But he also looks like he has the ability to understand touch as well.
I think so. I think some guys are just natural throwers, and I think Leary is that. That's not going to be the thing that ever holds him back about playing the quarterback position.
7 of his first 11 under 100 yards, but does have the touchdown. Little double and downfield, and it is caught, and into the end zone goes Kerry Angeline for a Wolfpack touchdown. Little trickery from Tim Beck gets him a touchdown.
I think it's a lot of trickery for Tim Beck, Wes. Don't you think about it? Or the ball, is all over the place. It's a handoff. It's a pitch to a wide receiver who's then going to flip it back to the quarterback. And then the big tight end, Kerry Angeline, 6'7", running down the sideline. You talk about, the ability to drive the football. How about a little bit of touch as the ball's flipped back to you and you have to re-grip it? Well done.
It is 14-0 NC State. Devin Leary has thrown 2 touchdown passes, and the OC of the Pack's got to be pretty happy about this.
Well, and how about the creativity? Tim Beck comes in and shortened, spring ball, shortened training camp. And how about we just, put in the reverse flea flicker thrown to our tight end down the field. I will say it's remarkable seeing the things that they have as part of their repertoire offensively, considering, this is a team that was shut down for 8 days throughout training camp, didn't have Devin Leary available for nearly 3 weeks, and Tim Beck is trying to install an offense, but he certainly didn't skip the trick play days.
Well, there are a couple things about Tim Beck in our visit with him this week. The fact that he had never seen Devin Leary live in a game until that, 4th quarter you saw a couple of weeks ago at Blacksburg is still kind of amazing given where we are 2 Saturdays later.
It's a great point. It is really amazing. The players need to learn the system, but the play caller needs to learn the players. Just even on a play like that, Wes, can I trust my back to flip it to the wide receiver? Can I trust my receiver to flip it back to the quarterback? Can we protect long enough to make that happen? All of those things you've got to figure out as a play caller. And I think Tim Beck, the job of communicating, creating offense is exactly what Dave Dorn was looking for when he hired Tim Beck. And been some early dividends here.
Oh, no question. First down in Talapapa. Not much there, Katie, as Virginia gets cranked up here after 3 straight 3-and-outs to start the game for Brennan Armstrong.
Virginia wanted to see there from Brennan Armstrong. They've had multiple conversations over on the sidelines. I've got to say, Brennan Armstrong has been very poised and calm in his demeanor on the sidelines after a couple unsuccessful drives. I'll hold it here.
Here's Billy Kemp on the sweep, trying to get to the perimeter. Gets knocked out of bounds after about a 3-yard gain with Harris and Malik Dunlap there.
But as many conversations, guys, as Jason Beck and Brennan Armstrong have had, Jason Beck and Robert and I have had just as many, kind of talking through what they want to do with Brennan Armstrong to get him going. Tim, is what you alluded to earlier.
It's 3rd down and 7 now. Here's Armstrong to throw. Back across the middle. Terrell Channa. First down for Virginia across midfield into NC State territory. Harris makes the stop on the best Virginia play offensively so far of the day.
Was their best play offensively. It's a corner blitz by North Carolina State. Brennan Armstrong works away from it. Jana's just coming underneath. Ball's a little high. Jana does a good job of playing the football, and then good run after the catch.
26 yards on 3rd down to convert the first one of the day for the Cavaliers. NC State 46-yard line. Final play of the first period. A play fake to Simpson and a throw in the middle of the field, and the first catch for the freshman Lavelle Davis. And that will get us to the quarter clock. Well, the Wolfpack had a score denied. Dunn missed a field goal, but that didn't deter Devin Leary. He's thrown 2 touchdown passes, one to Penix.
Has Twain.
Well, you see the first quarter has been really tough for Bronco Mendenhall and his squad through the first 3 ball games. But the last 2 plays going to the break have been sharp. Here's Talapapa on a 1st and 10. Virginia, Tim, had 40 yards in their last 2 snaps before the quarter. They had 19 prior to in that first quarter. Whew.
Yeah, they just need to find a way to get Brennan Armstrong comfortable and more comfortable just early in the game. They don't find themselves playing uphill once they get to the second quarter.
2nd and 8. Armstrong trying to slip out. Cannot. Wolfpack did a good job. Looked like trying to cage him in there with Aleem McNeill. Finally taking him to the turf. Terrell Dawkins also in there for the Wolfpack.
You know, you see the struggles, you know, Wes, and it's something we alluded to, and, you know, he's completed more passes than he has, you know, in the past in terms of how they get started, but, you know, not for much production. And as a quarterback, you feel that.
Here is Shane Simpson, the Towson transfer, and he will dig out to about the 24-yard line. It'll be 4th down. And a 2-yard margin for Virginia. Cavaliers going to go for this. 1.5 minutes into the second period. Trailing 2 touchdowns. And they got State to jump. Peyton Wilson fired through the A-gap and hit Brennan Armstrong, and there was a little method to the madness for Bronco Mendenhall.
Offside, defense number 11. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, Virginia 4 for 5 on 4th down last week against Clemson, and you know, kind of look at, you see what's happening there. Quarterback's in shotgun, walks up kind of quickly to get underneath the center, and Peyton Wilson and some of the other defenders just kind of anticipating that quarterback sneak and just jump the gun.
Yep.
Give Virginia a first down.
And Cavaliers now Looked like they might have found the secret sauce to make NC State move here.
Offside with contact, defense number 29. 5-yard penalty.
This one at Lane McNeill. The big man is some kind of athletic.
And how about just getting the quarterback comfortable by picking up 10 yards on offsides? Huh? That doesn't hurt.
I mean, yeah. One way or the other, right? So now 1st and 5 at the 14. Armstrong, quick throw. Poljan to about the 5-yard line. Got knocked down by Jakeem Harris. And
I think getting into empty is something that'll really help Brennan Armstrong. It helps define things for a quarterback and kind of simplifies the coverage. And nice easy throw to Poljan. You also have the ability to use him as a runner in those situations.
1st and goal now for Virginia. Talapapa flipped around. That was Tanner Engel. Engel listed at 5'10" out of Dr. Phillips in Orlando. Tim, I like him. He had to tape his hand up last week at Pittsburgh. First time I've ever seen him wear anything on his arms to play football. Talapapa driving toward the goal line and breaks the plane for the Virginia touchdown. 2nd and 3rd effort for Talapapa and his 3rd rushing score of the year.
You're right about that, Wes. It is 2nd and 3rd effort. It's a good job of kind of navigating his way through there. And I think it looks like he's maybe just short as that left elbow carrying the football appears to touch down before he crosses that goal line.
I think you're right. They'll take a look at this.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. The
here,
previous
but
play
also
is under further review.
And unless they think it hit the shoe of a Wolfpack player, nope, looks like it hits the ground to me too.
It looks like it started on the shoe, Wes. I'd agree with you there. Kind of started on the shoe and then that elbow hits the ground, but it's a great effort there by Talapapa.
That's Lavelle Davis's shoe, by the way. Look at that.
Which, considering he's 6'7", I'm guessing that might be at a size 16 shoe. And to me, that's done. You know, a little bit like the touchdown we saw earlier. That wasn't a touchdown to Rooks. That the ball moved just a little bit when it hit the ground for Rooks, and I think here just that elbow touches enough for this to be down at the 1.
After further review, the runner's elbow was down at the 1-yard line. Therefore, the ball will be placed at the 1. It will be 3rd and goal.
So it'll be 3rd and goal, essentially inside the 1 with about 3 minutes gone here in this 2nd period. You see Talapapa is going to stay in the ball game with Armstrong. Poljan and Davis here to the near side. That's Jana in motion. Armstrong, the keeper, will not get in. Wolfpack crashed the party. There's Engel, number 10, and 11 is Peyton Wilson.
You talk about crashing the party. You're exactly right, Wes. Look at Tanner Engel. Just diagnose this and then just shoot that hole and basically blow up Talapapa, who's the lead blocker there. I mean, that's playing on your opponent's side of the line of scrimmage. And that's really what slows Brennan Armstrong down.
Here's Armstrong trying to sneak it on 4th down, and let's see what they do here, because this is right at the line, and right now on 4th and goal, NC State, who had a hard stand at the goal line last week against Pittsburgh, have they done it again?
The ruling on the field, the runner was down short of the goal line. 1st and 10.
The ruling on the field is the runner was down So the Wolfpack, who had a goal line stand at Heinz Field last week, does it again here on Virginia, early second period. Look from the end zone camera on the sneak attempt from Armstrong.
And I don't like the call, Wes. I mean, you're too far, in my opinion, for a sneak. I mean, it's a full 1 yard, and you know, quarterback generally operates out of the shotgun. You put him under center after you had kind of a fourth down opportunity where it looked like you were trying to sneak the quarterback sneak, and there's like a lack of creativity down there.
State takes over at the 1. It's 12 plays for Virginia, and they give it away on downs. As you see Zonovan Knight just lower the shoulder and into the stack to try and clear some room here.
And Wes, much like last week against Pitt and that 2-minute drive for Devin Leary, kind of a growth opportunity, you know, backed up with your feet in your own end zone. Another good experience for him to try to build on.
Yep, Knight one more time, maybe the 3 before Zandier, one of the first Cavaliers, along with Nick Jackson, to make the play. And now all of a sudden it is 3rd down and 8 for an NC State team that's 2 of 4 in that category today. What do you think Tim Beck's got here?
Well, I think you have to be careful.
Sure.
You know, I mean, I think, you know, you're excited about how your quarterbacks play, but being smart.
How about Leary on a little RPO? And Devin Leary slides down at the 24 and a first down.
Actually, an RRO, run option. You know, it pulls it out of the belly of Bam Knight, and you see the influence it has on the Virginia defense. And you know, Devin Leary is a passer first, not much of a runner, but he's athletic enough to do that, and it's a good play call backed up by Tim Beck.
21-yard run gives NC State a fresh set of downs. Knight, the left side, and cannot run away from the Cavaliers' pressure. Brent Nelson, the senior from Miami, making his 33rd start. Tim Beck's coached a lot of good players, hasn't he?
A lot of good players, and I think that just his way with the players has been something that's been well received in terms of how he communicates with them, and really the trust that they already feel, you know, with him as their play caller.
Knight again. Bam Knight toward the 30. They'll spot it to the 29. It'll be a gain of 7. 3rd and 4 coming up for the Wolfpack. Jackson on the stop for the Cavaliers. Boy, what a start for NC State today. A couple of first quarter touchdowns, and now Wolfpack gets a goal line stand defensively, Tim. And here's a 3rd and 4 to keep the drive alive for Dave Doran's team. Thomas in motion. Leary looking. And that ball got deflected. Noah Taylor got a hand in the throw lane on a ball intended for Thayer Thomas.
It's a really nice play by Noah Taylor here. You know, they motion Thomas across the formation, and they're just trying to outflank the defense, roll out to it. And that's where Leary is trying to go, to Thomas. And Taylor, who goes about 6'5", covers a lot of ground, does a nice job of undercutting it, and nearly comes up with an interception.
First time since the opening drive we've seen Trenton Gill. And he will drive it toward Billy Kemp. And the ball will check up right around the 40-yard line of Virginia. 8:19 and a couple ticks off to go. And a little post-scrimmage activity. We'll get a break here in Charlottesville.
Every single day, we don't know what's going to come next. We don't know how this is going to end, when this is going to end.
In North Carolina, then a pair of women's soccer matches, Navy, Pitt, Wake, and number 6 Clemson, and then volleyball with Duke and Carolina at 5:30. Sunday best all day on ACC Network. And boy, great to see Charles Snowden and Joey Blunt and a lot of these Virginia football players supporting other student athletes here on the grounds as the fall semester is underway and the athletic calendar underway. Here is Armstrong as Virginia gets started. He gets nailed in the backfield. And another big-time play. The Wolfpack getting after it. Shaheen Battle's got an interception and now a tackle for loss.
And part of the reason he has that tackle for loss, Brennan Armstrong just puts his eyes down to the ground early rather than keeping him down the field as a passer. Kind of too eager to look to run, in my opinion, and Battle just too much speed to the perimeter as Armstrong's trying to get out there.
That is a loss of 10, so second down and 20 for the Cavaliers. We're almost to the midway point, a quarter-2 here in Charlottesville. And the lefty from Ohio. Across the middle, intercepted. It is picked off by Joshua Pierre-Louis. And he returns it to the Cavalier 20 on the second interception of the first half for Armstrong.
You said across the middle, and balls that are thrown late down the middle, which this one was, and balls that are tipped are a recipe for disaster for the quarterback. See Armstrong looking to his left. He's so late with the football, and as that gets tipped, looked like C.J. Clark who got a hand on it. It just leads to a bad throw, and something has to happen for Virginia offensively to calm Brennan Armstrong down, get him in some type of a rhythm. A sack for 10 yards immediately followed by an interception. It's off to a rough start.
22-yard return by Pierre-Louis and a nice play behind the line on Jordan Houston. So NC State's first play loses a couple. After the second turnover of the half. And Brenton Nelson again, who leads the Cavaliers. He's got 2 interceptions, but a big play behind the line there. Wolfpack can deliver really a message here, Tim, if they can punch this in for a score. Leary. And almost intercepted, deflected, and toward a Messi before it falls incomplete. D'Angelo Amos is playing for Joey Blunt today at that free safety spot. He came over from James Madison when the Colonial Athletic Association announced they weren't going to play Tim, and he's a pretty good player to have show up in August.
Well, especially if you're going to be without Joey Blunt, as you mentioned, to have a player with experience, his caliber of play, and good opportunity for him there, and obviously just good opportunity for him to have a college football season.
3rd and a dozen. Leary works back inside the original line at the 20 before he gets brought down on the play.
Listen, if it, holding North Carolina State to a field goal attempt here, you see Zandier kind of lose the sack, but good job of pursuit to the football by the rest of that Virginia defense. So that's a win by Nick Howell's group.
Yep.
To force a field goal after the interception from Armstrong.
Dunn, who had his streak snapped on a 51-yarder earlier in the ball game, now tries from 36, and Christopher Dunn punches that through. 5:49 to go first half. Lead is now 17-0 for the Wolfpack.
These folks, they don't have time to go to the post office. They have businesses to grow, customers to care for.
Well, 5:49 to go in this first half, and Tim, a story of quarterbacks.
Story of quarterbacks, story of turnovers, and Brennan Armstrong, who's had a bad decision in each of Virginia's first 2 games of the season, has 2 early in this game, and it's led to 10 points for North Carolina State.
Wolfpack will kick it away with a 17-0 lead here. And Billy Kemp is deep, and Kemp going to bring it out. Works to the 15, and maybe a couple of yards after that. And that's where Armstrong and the Cavaliers will get started. Another timeout at Scott Stadium. Back after this.
Fantastic, guys. How are you guys doing?
There are so many things that we want to address with you.
Minute by minute, hour by hour.
Defensive lines that would eat your lunch.
Got that sunshine on my Sunday bed. Yeah.
5:43 to go first half, 17-0 NC State. And here comes Brennan Armstrong, Tim.
Well, the good news for Brennan Armstrong, Wes, is the ball's only touched the ground once. The bad news is it's because he's thrown 2 of them to North Carolina State. This one, a really bad decision and a force, and then, another bad late decision, ball tipped, and really put his defense in a tough spot, led to 10 points, and they need to do something to get him settled down.
Ball at the 17 for first down. And Armstrong thought about bailing the pocket, now does, got around the edge and angled out by Isaiah Moore. A marker down on the play. And let's see what Jerry Magallanes and his crew have here. It's a hold on Virginia. And Armstrong will come out of the ball game, I think, here for a snap as he's helped away.
Holding offense. 10-yard penalty is accepted. The previous play is under further review.
All right, so Lindell Stone will come in for the Cavaliers. And with 5.5 to go, Brennan Armstrong to the Virginia bench. And we get a timeout in Charlottesville. 17-0 in favor of the Wolfpack.
Congratulations. Welcome to the athletic.
On the play. Holding offense, number 4. Personal foul, targeting defense, number 10. The penalties will offset. Number 10 of the defense is disqualified. It will be first down.
All right, so there's the details on the play here.
Well, it's a hold by Billy Kemp. That's obvious to see. And then you see Tanner Ingle come flying in there. It's how he plays. But I think you have an indicator, of a launch. And even though Brennan Armstrong is a tough runner, launching like that, leading with, your head, the crown of your helmet, is going to cause the official to throw a flag. I think it's the right call.
Devin Boykin, by the way, has been plugged in to replace Ingle. Here is Shane Simpson on first down. Katie, looked like they were helping Armstrong to the tent when we went to the commercial a moment ago.
They were, Wes, and he's still sitting on the edge of the training table inside the tent with about 4 to 5 athletic trainers surrounding him, talking to him right now. But to your point, Tim, he's a physical guy. They commend him for wanting to run the football and take a hit, but that was a nasty shot to the head. He was slow to walk over, and they're still assessing him now.
All right, Lindell Stone from Dallas, who played at Woodbury Forest in Virginia, has come into the ball game, and that is his second completion of the year to Billy Kemp. Pierre Lewis there on the stop for NC State. Stone, by the way, 240 pounds. This is his second game of the year, 5th career game as a Cavalier. And that was just his 5th completion in 13 throws as a Virginia quarterback. Kind of give you his dossier there because not a lot to it. Stone, quick throw again, and that's Terrell Jana for a first down. So Stone comes right in, gunning it. A couple of completions and a flag on the play after one
ineligible
first
receiver
down
downfield offense. Number 18 was covered up. 5-yard penalty, third down.
So an eligible receiver's the call.
You just can't have that happen. You have a backup quarterback, as you said, Wes, not a lot of experience, and comes in, gets a nice completion, and for a first down, and you have a formation issue. So I think some of these things around the quarterback need to be cleaned up to help Virginia's offense operate more effectively.
So now 3rd and 9 for the Cavaliers. Stone again across the middle, caught by Billy Kemp, but play was made by Cecil Powell, who was very active last Saturday in some of those important drives in the 4th period in Pittsburgh. And now Virginia will have to punt it away. Under 4 to go in this first half. Nash Griffin will punt, and NC State, who knows Virginia will have the ball to start second half, has all 3 timeouts and under 4 minutes to deal with here. Here is Nash Griffin to punt it. And Thayer Thomas at the 20 on the return. Stepped away from Jana. Got 10, got 15. Did Thayer Thomas. And NC State with 3:16 to go takes over here. 58-yard punt by Griffin, but Devin Leary's been the story for the Wolfpack.
He sure has. You know, building off of a really strong performance a week ago against Pittsburgh. Was able to find Penix in the flat for a touchdown. Then a good ball to his big tight end, Kerry Angeline, down the field on a trick play. And I think Tim Beck has done a really good job of finding ways to get Devin Leary opportunities to push the ball down the field, also find him easy completions and get his quarterback comfortable.
Off the 37 here is Person. And a marker down on the play.
Holding offense, number 54. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Penalty on Dylan McMahon. And let's take a look at today's player spotlight. And it's brought to you by Geico. And it's all about Devin Leary, the redshirt sophomore from Sicklerville, New Jersey. Last 5 quarters, half dozen touchdowns and 555 yards of passing.
That's pretty good. And you can see why Dave Dorn was kind of frustrated he didn't have him to start the season. I think he always viewed him as the starting quarterback. And, you know, when they held him out basically after returning because of contact tracing, Wes, well, Dave Dorn did tell him, you'll have your opportunity again. He's gotten it early this season. He's certainly taken advantage of it.
Ricky Person there got 8 yards back after the penalty. And now here's Leary across the middle again. And Porter Rooks, Tim, has emerged here in this first half of the Wolfpack.
I mean, Porter Rooks has decided to come to the party. You see here, you know, tight coverage. It's a really good job of getting the ball on time out to Rooks. And then Rooks, nice job, courage over the middle to make that play.
20-yard throw, and in Person gets him about 10 on the first down play to the Cavalier 35-yard line.
And here
Cam
comes their
makes
pace.
the stop, the linebacker. Yep, and here comes the Wolfpack, and Tim Beck wants to accelerate it. Leary trying to avoid the pressure again. And that ball got deflected on the way to C.J. Riley. Noah Taylor got a hand in there for the Cavaliers.
And I like the way that Tim Beck changes up tempo. Sometimes it's super fast, other times, you know, kind of slow it down, get a good look at what the defense is doing. And I think it's the idea of controlling the pace, not just going fast, that he does a nice job with.
Angeline, the tight end. This is Zonovan Knight, and Bam tries to fit and does inside the 20, and Bam Knight wins the race to the end zone for NC State. 35-yard touchdown run for Bam Knight. It's his second rushing score of the year.
And it's really good patience. Look at him just push this and kind of press the hole before he puts that left foot in the ground and gets vertical. And you've referenced the good backs that they have at NC State, Wes. And, you know, Bam Knight probably the most all-around of their running backs.
Brennan Armstrong headed to the Virginia locker room ahead of the half after being shaken up on the last Cavalier possession. Dunn's point after makes it 24-0. 5 plays, 63 yards, and 1:13 for the Wolfpack.
You see here just a stretch play. The offensive line all working left with Angeline, the tight end, and Ricky Person tries to push it outside. As soon as he sees a hole, left foot in the ground and get vertical. You see here, everyone working together. It's a really nice job. We've got Aquanu, who's normally the left guard, playing left tackle where he played as a freshman, and Dylan McMahon in the lineup. Good job at the point of attack, and North Carolina State continuing to do a good job of rotating these backs through, and all of them doing a good job when they get their opportunity.
Tim, the team you saw 2 weeks ago in Blacksburg, how different looking is this group? And I'm not specifically saying the exclusivity of Devin Leary, but certainly he's got a lot to do with it.
He's got a ton to do with it. It feels like there's just more confidence in terms of what they can do offensively. You know, obviously the work the defense has been doing, coming up with the turnovers, has helped. That was significantly different than what happened in Blacksburg a couple weeks ago, but yes, looks like a different team.
Well, here's Lindell Stone with Brennan Armstrong. And of course, Virginia has struggled offensively here, as the score would indicate. They've got under 100 yards, and now the backup quarterback from Dallas into the lineup. With 2 minutes and 1 timeout left, Stone hits Poljan up near the 30-yard line. Gain of 5. Tackle made by Isaiah Moore, the middle linebacker of the Wolfpack, in his 26th career start today. He's one of a handful of Virginians playing prominent roles for Dave Doran, having a bit of a homecoming here today. Another quick throw. There's Kemp going to work, and Billy Kemp will get the first down. Rolling away from Nick Booker Brown, true freshman from Houston, on the field for NC State.
You know, for a quarterback to come into a 2-minute drive situation, oftentimes it can help you. You know, offensively, you maybe are a little more simple than you would be in a traditional, you know, situation in a game. And so a lot of times you do your base stuff in a 2-minute offense, which is helpful for a quarterback coming off the bench.
Simpson and Talapape in the lineup together, and Jana on the slant to midfield. Stop the clock to move the chains with 73 seconds to play. Battle the tackle on Terrell Jana. Twelve-yard throw, and Stone back to work again. Sidearm and almost intercepted. Looked like Peyton Wilson had a crack at it on a pass intended for Shane Simpson.
Yeah, and really, Stone had no business making this throw. Didn't like it, was going to escape outside the pocket. Now you have to throw it away, get this ball out of bounds. He's fortunate. Peyton Wilson, who is a really good athlete, isn't able to come down with that football. The coaching point there, Wes, less adventure on throwaways.
Here's Stone again. Tries the near sideline that time, and Billy Kemp, the intended receiver. Shaheem battled there for the Wolfpack. Well, you say less adventure. Shane Simpson probably should get credit for the pass breakup, don't you think? To Peyton Wilson?
Probably so. And then you look at Stone then trying to throw a back shoulder fade to his 5'9" wide receiver Billy Kemp, and been tough sledding offensively for Virginia.
Cavaliers just 1 of 7 on 3rd down. Another 3rd down throw. This one caught Billy Kemp. First down inside the 40 to about the 34-yard line goes Billy Kemp. And now all of a sudden Virginia with 43 seconds left. Remember the 1 timeout remaining for Bronco Mendenhall's team, who also gets the ball to start half 2 here in Charlottesville. Stone batted away that time. Poljan, the intended receiver, and Cecil Powell defending. Clock stops with 29 seconds to go. Delaney's longest field goal has been 32 yards this year, and that was in the opener against Duke. And I believe NC State has asked for the timeout.
Their first of the half, NC State, 30-second timeout.
Will use their first here with a half minute. Well, 24-0 NC State. Don't forget tonight at 11, the Huddle late night with Jordan Cornette, Eric McLean, A.J. Manuel, Mark Rick. They'll be back to complete breakdowns of all the ACC games today. And that includes Clemson, Miami tonight over on ABC at 7:30. So the Huddle tonight, 11 o'clock on ACC Network, streaming live on the ESPN app. NC State, who was denied a touchdown, then Dunn missed the long field goal on their second possession. And since then, Tim, except for one punt, Wolfpack's been at work offensively today.
They really have been. I think they've done a nice job of kind of mixing in, you know, what they've wanted to do offensively, the way they've been running the football, trick plays, traditional passing situations. And Dave Dorn talking about the response after the loss to Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. They've continued to have a good response to that in the way the teams come out and play.
Here is Stone on second in the full 10, and down the seam, Davis. First and goal, Virginia, with 22 seconds left. And there's the freshman star from Dorchester, South Carolina.
He is a star, and I think getting him opportunities to go up and play the football is exactly what Virginia needs to do.
32-yard throw.
NC State, their second of the half. 30-second timeout.
And now the Wolfpack another timeout with 19 seconds left.
Really a double post kind of play design. As you see, the crossing route is going to hold the middle of the field safety, which is allow Stone to shoot it outside to Davis. And you know, we've seen, you called him a star freshman wide receiver, and I would agree. He does a good job of kind of pushing vertically to turn the defensive back around and then just use the 6'7" frame that he has to go up and play the football. He is a really, really good-looking player.
Well, listed at 6'7", 210 pounds, Woodland High School in the upstate of South Carolina. So, and against Duke in his college debut, Tim, he took over in the second half. I mean, just took over the ball game.
Yeah, and you know, watching it, and you're like, well, wait a second, let me look this guy. Wait, true freshman, this guy was just in high school. We know that there was hardly any training camp with how things worked or off season. And he basically just took over the football game. That was a close game in the second half, and it was Lavelle Davis's big plays that really determined the outcome.
And Lindell Stone throws for the score to Billy Kemp to get Virginia on the board. So Stone dials Kemp, who was #1 in the ACC in receptions per game and second in yardage. And the Cavaliers score with 15 seconds to play in this first half. Nine plays, 75 yards, and 148 for Lindell Stone's first career touchdown pass. And Delaney bangs home the extra point. Stone's 8 of his first 11 now for 83 yards.
Well, how about Lyndon Stone? Basically just outflanked the defense. Billy Kemp comes in motion and gets lost by that North Carolina State defense, and Stone sees him, puts the ball right on him, and how about that for coming in off the bench for your injured quarterback, and kind of a calmness to Lyndon Stone and an eagerness to stay inside the pocket. And with Virginia getting the ball to start the second half, that was a big drive by Lyndon Stone, finding his young wide receiver and then finding Kemp in the end zone.
Tim, confidence could be a funny thing, can it? I mean, how much does he build? And they're going to get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, I think it's important, you know, to kind of get something going, because now when you go into the locker room, assuming that we're not going to see Brennan Armstrong, you know, now for you know, Lindell Stone, you've already had some success, and I think that, you know, the locker room can start to feel that and build off of it.
Ball bounced away, and NC State will cover it up back at the 9-yard line. That is Trent Penix. And I don't believe the Wolfpack will do very much here except maybe take a knee and head to the locker room.
The receiver gave a fair catch signal.
So Virginia
Ball becomes dead. We're possessed. First down.
Putting this score on the board here before the half. I'm sure changed the temperament of both Bronco Mendenhall and Dave Doran's halftime messages to their teams.
I think you're right about that, and I also think that, you know, as deflating as it can be when you lose your starting quarterback, to have the backup come in and play well, you know, that can start to give you a little bit of energy as well.
Yeah. Well, for Devin Leary, interesting to see that he continues to play well. 9 of 17 and a couple of touchdown passes in the first half, and then the rushing score for Zonovan Knight. So NC State's got 239 yards of offense. Virginia only 155, but Tim, 75 of it comes in the final drive.
Yeah, an important response, and as you said, Wes, I think it maybe changes the dynamic of the feel in the locker room, and Lindell Stone kind of breathing a little bit of life into that Virginia offense they so badly needed.
Yep. So the Wolfpack with a 17-point lead. Virginia will get the ball to start the second half. And let's join Katie George with Dave Doran.
Dave, your defense had been so strong up into the final 2 minutes of that quarter. What led to UVA's first score?
Some coverage breakdowns, really. We just got to make plays. We weren't very smart. We had a post player on that last play, and he wasn't in the post. But just got to make plays, you know. I mean, we didn't get the pressure on the quarterback like we were earlier. We made some throws. They threw it up to the 6'7" kid, and we got to be in position to make that play.
Offensively, you've been able to move the ball really well against a defense that has a multitude of coverages and does a nice job disguising those coverages. Why has your offense been so effective thus far?
Oh, we're playing physical. We're protecting Devin. You know, Coach Beck's done a good job mixing it up. They're a good team. It's going to be a 4-quarter game. We got to come out ready.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All right, thanks to Katie and to Coach Doran. Wolfpack with the lead at the break. Jordan Cornette next in the huddle.
You've got a lot on your mind. We'll put a lot on your table. The news.
ACC Network Football is presented by Geico. We get ready to go to the second half. NC State 24, Virginia 7. Great to be with Tim Hasselbeck. Katie George is in Charlottesville, and we get to our Zaxby's first half stats. And as you might expect in a 17-point ball game, dominated by the Wolfpack, Tim.
Dominated in large part because of the way the quarterback has played. Devin Leary, I think, has managed things extremely well. And then you look at the way the defense has played, coming up with turnovers, obviously leading to some of those opportunities.
Well, Devin Leary has been very, very good for the Wolfpack. As Trenton Gill gets ready to kick it away, Billy Kemp waits for the Cavaliers. And that's a look at our Zaxby's first half stats. And Kemp, halfway back in the end zone, will touch a knee. And Virginia will get started at its 25. And let's take a look at our New York Life Drive recap. And it's the final possession of the half for Virginia. And Lindell Stone came to work.
Came to work because he comes off the bench and starts off 8 for 11 and does enough on Virginia's final drive to give them a little hope and a little bit of life by leading them to a score with that touchdown pass to Billy Kemp.
24-7 as Stone and the Cavaliers go to work here. Out in the flat. Catch made by Shane Simpson for a gain of about 4. And let's check with Katie George.
Well, guys, Brennan Armstrong is done for the day. Bronco Mendenhall said he has great confidence in Lindell Stone. He said he's a coach in player form. He sees the game extremely well, and he has a great understanding of defenses, so they feel good with the ball in his hands.
All right, 4 yards on first down, and Stone puts it in Simpson's hands one more time. Eluded the first guy, but not Drake Thomas, the second guy.
This linebacker group for North Carolina State, Wes, I think a really good group of linebackers. Isaiah Moore, kind of the leader in that group. Peyton Wilson, we've seen him make some plays, and there's Drake Thomas. Really versatile group of guys they have at the linebacker level.
So now, here is a third down opportunity for Virginia. Just 2 for 8 in the first half for the Cavaliers. Stone loads and throws, and incomplete. Intended for Terrell Channing. So 3 and out goes Virginia. And Lindell Stone and Bronco Mendenhall probably hoping for more out of that first possession. Nash Griffin will punt it away, and Thayer Thomas is deep for the Wolfpack. Virginia spread 5 guys out to the wide side, now calls them back. Griffin's punt is blocked. And it is scooped up by the Wolfpack, back around the 15-yard line. Tayon Palmer got the block, I believe.
You mentioned a little shift before the punt. They get back in tight. Obviously a unique setup, and really just do a poor job of getting beat inside, and because of that, it's an easy block. And what a disaster this punt team has been for Virginia. 2 timeouts in the first half because you only had 10 guys out on the field, and then first punt opportunity in the second half, and it's blocked.
Palmer recovered Vi Jones's block. Off the 15, here's Devin Leary. Person trying to get started and cannot break away from Richard Burney. So sudden change for NC State, and now Virginia's back up to the wall in a 17-point game. Loss of 5 on the play. And here's Person again. And Charles Snowden got it around the shoe top. So NC State, who's been perfect in the red zone this year, 2 for 2 today, tries to keep that streak intact, but now it's 3rd and 13. And that is Ricky Person shaking up for the Wolfpack.
You looked like at the end of this run, Wes, Ricky Person kind of fighting for some extra yards and took a pretty good shot, right before he went down, and good to see him up.
Yep. Person will trot off. We get a timeout in Charlottesville before 3rd down.
A logo can do more than identify your company. It can connect in meaningful ways, energize your team, and inspire your customers. We're for...
Well, NC State just 3 of 7 on 3rd down after the punt block by Vi Jones and the recovery by Palmer. Now is 3rd and 13. Deep in Virginia territory. You see at the 18-yard line, but Bam Knight's in the ball game. And here's Leary. Quick throw and intercepted. Picked off in the end zone by Devontae Cross. So no points and a huge boost for the Cavalier defense, Tim.
Huge boost, and it's Devontae Cross again, who's played really good football for Virginia so far this season. I think Devin Leary just leaves this one too far inside. I think he's trying to throw a back shoulder fade to Emeka Emezi, and he leaves it inside. We want to miss high and away on a back shoulder fade, and that ball, because it isn't, is a ball that Cross can play, and he had the one-on-one that he wanted. I just don't think he placed the ball where he wanted to.
Second interception thrown by Leary. Here is Stone in Virginia now off its 20. And Wayne Talapapa picks up 3. So the Cavaliers, who seemingly had, you know, they got the early stop. The Porter Rooks touchdown was overturned on the second series of the ball game, Tim, as the rain continues to fall here on Stone and the Cavaliers. And then NC State started building momentum. Well, now Virginia's had a couple things go their way. Late first half drive. Now they get a stop on a sudden change, and Bronco Mendenhall probably would like to see his team take another step in their process, if you will. Here's a second down throw, and it is caught at the 30-yard line by Billy Kemp, who had no catches off the arm of Brennan Armstrong, but now has come to work with Lindell Stone slinging it.
He has, and Kemp has kind of been his guy. Looks like Kemp does get his hands underneath that football, and it's a good job of Lindell Stone playing on time. You know, the ball coming out quickly as the pressure was coming, and so that's one of the things that's been different between the two quarterbacks is the anticipation from Lindell Stone.
Here's Stone again, batted up in the air and almost deflected back to the quarterback before Tyrell Dawkins could get a hand on it for NC State.
I tell you, Wes, I'm still trying to get used to a number 36 playing quarterback. It has to be the only other time. Listen, obviously with my Boston College roots, I've seen a 22 at quarterback, but a 36 is taking a little bit of getting used to.
This is all part of Bronco Mendenhall's numerology process with his football team, and that ball toward Poljan is incomplete. I must tell you that Brennan Armstrong, who's wearing 5 this year, Tim, wore 10 last year, and 2 years ago was wearing a 90s number. And I know you saw Keaton Thompson last Saturday night, who's now a wide receiver wearing 99 at quarterback. So the strange gets a little stranger sometimes when it comes to these QB numbers.
It certainly does, but number aside, I think Stone's done a pretty good job so far. Now he finds himself in a 3rd and 10. Got to be careful with it.
Yep. Across the middle and off the hands of Jana, his old teammate at Woodbury Forest. And so Virginia cannot take advantage of it. And here is Stone to the sideline. And the Cavalier punt team will be back out there with Nash Griffin. And remember a moment ago, Jones got the block for NC State.
It's been a bit of an adventure with this punt group for Virginia. Making sure you have the right personnel out there. A little bit more of a traditional lineup for them with their punt team.
The left-footed Griffin to Thomas at the 30. Thayer Thomas able to get north for about 5 yards. 4 minutes gone, 3rd period. NC State still leads by 17. We get a hold against the Wolfpack, and we will step away. Breaking the action at Scott Stadium, and Dave Doran's team in front, but the ball when we come back.
You know how we come for nothing I got.
ESPN.
Well, a lot of eyes on the Tigers and Canes tonight at Frank Howard Field, and of course Trevor Lawrence and De'Aaron King. Tim, I'm excited to see him on this stage for the first time in his college career.
I think that's a great point. He's been a lot of fun to watch. I mean, he's just kind of instant offense. You look at his numbers there, and you're right about the stage and the speed. You know, it's part of his game, and so now all of a sudden you're playing a defense with a ton of team speed. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yep. And I think we get a penalty on NC State for the motion. Tim, real quick about last Saturday night with
False
Virginia
start,
and
offense,
what you saw
number
in
89. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Given the way that Rhett Lashley likes to use middle of the field with Mallory and Brevin Jordan and to a degree crossing routes, period, has Clemson got to be concerned a little bit about the middle of the field tonight based on what you saw last Saturday night with Armstrong and Jana and some of those guys and the tight end Poljan?
Well, and I just think, you know, quarterback is a runner, you know, not on design runs. Can be a bit of an issue as well. And you know, Brent Venables will take chances defensively.
Yeah.
So when you do that, you know, it obviously can create opportunities if you're able to kind of split it for the quarterback as a runner.
Ball of the 31, a great run by Bam Knight, right at 15 yards. Picked up the first down after the penalty, and then Virginia rallies on the second snap. We told you at the top, one of the best weekends of ACC football in recent memory in this league, highlighted tonight by Miami and Clemson, and of course Carolina, Virginia Tech. Pitt, Boston College, a big ball game coming up, given the way those two teams kind of started, and Florida State, Notre Dame as well at South Bend. First time Florida State's been in that game as an unranked team against the Irish. Here is Knight on the third straight carry. And third down coming up for the Wolfpack. Tackle made by Bandy Alonzo. So there is Zonovan Knight from Bailey, North Carolina. One of the biggest things out of Bailey since Julius Peppers a few seasons ago. 3rd and 7. The Wolfpack is 3 for 8 today. Tight end in the slot at the top of the screen here for Devin Leary. And he tried to dial Angeline, and it got broken up. Antonio Clary.
Another really good stop right for this Virginia defense. And you know, you look at the score, 24-7. You think maybe, you know, they've been having their struggles, but really they've done a nice job. It's been a few turnovers, have kind of gotten them, defended a short field, but some sudden change opportunities, and then another stop there. Really been impressed with kind of their ability to stick with it and continue to find stops.
Trenton Gill to punt. Kemp signal for and made the fair catch at the 24-yard line. That's where Virginia will start. Folks, don't forget, Monday through Friday, 7 to 10, right here on ACC Network. Mark Packer hosts a show that features 2 dogs, and on Wednesdays, Tim Hasselbeck joins us. How's that?
I was wondering how you were going to work me into the promo there. I mean,
and usually Katie George on Thursdays or Fridays. How's that? So there we go. It's Packer, it's Katie George, it's Tim Hasselbeck. 7 to 10, Monday through Fridays. What do you think?
I mean, that pretty much tells the story.
It's the highlight of my mornings, let me tell you.
Here is Simpson out in the flat. Tackle made by Isaiah Moore. Let me say on the record today, without Pack, that I am grateful for the commitment you guys give us every week. It is much appreciated, and I just would like everybody to know that, including yourselves, that it's always great to have Tim on Wednesdays and Katie on Thursdays or Fridays. After all, who else could be termed the coveted invite, right, Tim?
That's exactly right. And, you know, since we, you know, often work with Dave O'Brien, I think he feels left out that you guys haven't invited him on more.
You know, here's the catch by Terrell Jana at the 35. We do have to get OB on more. There's no doubt.
You just got to wake him up in time, I think. It's an early morning, Wes. But guys, I'll just add real quickly, Lindell Stone, he hasn't played in very many games, a handful late in the 4th quarter. He's already asserted himself as a leader over here on the sidelines, checking in with the offensive line, checking in with his wide receiver group. So I've been impressed just with the way that he's handling himself over here, trying to get these guys going.
Stone trying to find something underneath Jana, and Drake Thomas right there for NC State. Tim, how difficult is it what Lindell Stone's doing today?
I think it's really hard, and it's especially hard when it's raining. You know, people don't always, you know, think about that, consider that. You think, well, you know, I mean, all these players are playing in the wet weather, but you're standing on the sideline for nearly a half in the wet weather, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, go out there and play as well as the starter's been playing. It's not easy to do, and I think for the most part, he's done a pretty good job.
Shane Simpson cracks off about 5 yards. 3rd down and 5 coming up. And again, we're talking about a kid, this is his 5th career ball game at Virginia. 3 in the last 2 years. Thrown 11 passes. no touchdowns and had thrown 3 interceptions. The ball to Billy Kemp prior to the half, his first career touchdown pass that got Virginia on the board. 3rd down shot for Kemp again. And Billy Kemp will squeeze to the 1st down. Nicely done by Kemp on the extra effort there.
Really good job by Kemp, and he's kind of been the favorite target so far. He's done a nice job of kind of finding these zones, playing inside. Virginia has had a history of good slot players at the wide receiver position, and Billy Kemp doing a pretty good job of it this afternoon.
Yep. 1st and 10, long throw, and off the hands of Kemp, incomplete. 2nd down coming up for Lindell Stone.
This is pretty good.
Yeah. 13 and 21.
I'm getting used to the 36, Wes. I don't mean to cut you off, but the 36 and the wedding band on the left hand. I mean, there's a lot I'm trying to get used to here in college football.
Here's the give, and breaking away. Here comes Shane Simpson, who is a all-CAA player at Towson before a bad knee injury last year took him out of the lineup for the Tigers of Coach Ambrose, and he made the move here to Virginia and picks up a 1st down there. Simpson again, right side. Hesitated, and ball popped loose, and did Isaiah Moore recovered for the Wolfpack?
Initial look at it, Wes. Initial look at it, Wes. It did seem like Isaiah Moore was there, but I think
he's got it.
Yeah, he does have it. Ryan Swoboda dove in there. Looked like they were fighting for the football, but I bet you Isaiah Moore just able to wrestle it away. That's Jakeem Harris with a good job of getting that football out. And, as he does that, I mean, that's just shoulder right on the football. Then there's Isaiah Moore to recover it.
Rolling on the field, the fumble was recovered by NC State. 1st down.
So Isaiah Moore, who wears the coveted #1 for the Wolfpack, comes up with the 3rd Virginia turnover of the day. And Tim, you mentioned a hit by Jakeem Harris. Looked like he dislodged the ball. Shane Simpson had to be helped from the sideline. We'll see what happens here with the Wolfpack possession that starts from the NC State 32-yard line. And Ricky Person has come in the ball game for Dave Doran's team. Devin Leary is just 50% throwing the football for 139 yards today. And he'll put it up top here on 1st and 10. Tried to go to a Mezzi, and Zandier forced the collision there. Flag on the play.
Holding offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Ike Ekwonu, Mr. Hasselbeck.
Yeah, I really like him. He's moved out to tackle there. Snowden, who's not really known for his kind of a speed edge rush move, kind of covers a lot of ground with his big height. Ekwonu moving out to tackle, just had a hard time setting on him properly.
It looks like NC State's put Skullthorpe at the left guard spot. Gibson, of course, at center, and Jordan Houston turned back at the line of scrimmage. Boy, Nick Jackson's made a lot of plays today for Virginia as one of their tacklers in the 34 alignment.
I was kind of giving some love to that NC State linebacking group earlier, but I think you kind of say a similar thing for this linebacking core for Virginia. Snowden making a play. We've talked about Zandier, Nick Jackson, Noah Taylor we've seen. Pretty good group in the front for Virginia as well.
Leary on 2nd and 20. And a diving catch, and that's a Mezzi again. A Emeka Emezi, who had 2 touchdown catches last Saturday at Pitt, comes up with a big one here.
This is a really big catch, kind of a critical 3rd down, and I think Devin Leary doing a better job of giving his wide receivers an opportunity to play the football.
33-yard throw to Emezi gets NC State geared up as we go under 6 to play in this first half.
Yeah, with the rain coming down, it's a nice job of Emezi, just enough separation from Cross.
And that time trying to go to Angeline, and Brenton Nelson in coverage.
Well, Tim, to your point about Emeka Emezi, he was disappointed with the way that things went last season. So all through offseason and even now, he catches 400-plus balls before and after practice, either off of a live arm or on the jugs machine, saying he wants to work on his hands, his body angles, and catching when he's got coverage draped over him. And the rain is coming down. This is the hardest it started, pouring right now, and so for him to be able to hold on to that ball, I think it just speaks to the work that he's been able to put in every single day, catching over 400 balls.
3rd down and 5 for the Wolfpack. Virginia with pressure. Leary again looking for Emezi, and he was locked up with Devontae Cross.
You know, Emezi's a guy, Wes, and I know I feel a similar way. Kind of came onto the scene a little bit as a young player, and you thought that some of the good players in front of him would graduate and kind of take over that #1 role. You know, hasn't really done that. I think some of that had to do with the quarterback play, and with the quarterback play presumably improving with the way Leary has played. You can see Emezi reemerge.
Yeah, Trenton Gill comes back to punt. I think that's a well-stated point. You know, people forget just how good Kelvin Harmon and Jacoby Myers were, and they teed up Emezi a lot. There's Billy Kemp. He'll watch the punt be downed inside the 5. Wolfpack's got a 17-point lead. 5.5 to go in the 3rd.
You've got a lot on your mind. We'll put a lot on your table. The new Zaxby's Family Packs with your choice of 20 chicken fingers or 30 boneless wings plus fries and Texas toast for just $24.99. Only at Zaxby's. Order ahead.
It's just the beginning. Go to touchofmodern.com and venture through a curated collection of the highest quality in fashion, tech, and home with new items added every day.
Quarterback.
Virginia off its 3, and a long throw on the incomplete ball for Lavelle Davis, and a flag down. Let's see what Jerry Magallanes has. We have 10 combined penalties by 2 schools today.
Pass interference, defense, number 19. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Pierre Lewis.
And Wes, don't you think with Lavelle Davis, I mean, obviously you're looking for completions down the field, but he's so big, and clearly North Carolina State defensively is worried about his size as a matchup problem. Just got to find ways to give him opportunities down the field, either for PI or completion.
Simpson on the move, or Talapapa on the move prior to the snap. Here's Billy Kemp, another catch. And tackle made by Drake Thomas. And that is 8 of them now for Billy Kemp in the ball game. He did not have a catch off the arm of Brennan Armstrong, Tim, in the first half.
I mean, these guys might be roommates or something next week, Wes. I mean, you're looking for them that much.
How about Terrell Jana went to Woodbury Forest with Lindell Stone. Here's Stone, and thrown incomplete. Kemp was in the neighborhood, closest Cavalier on the playing field.
That's a good point by you. I mean, Terrell Jana's got to be sitting there, but hey, Lindell, we were high school teammates, man. Like, don't forget about me.
Stone has thrown it 23 times. The touchdown to Kemp. Paris Jones has come to the ball game, and he's checking out of the backfield now to the boundary at the left. And inside, there's Terrell Jana on cue to the 40-yard line.
I think we were on it. I think we were on the conversation that happened there.
In the huddle. Now, seriously, do guys walk back and go, come on, man, you know me, how about I ball, right? Tell me, does that come on. We speculate, does that happen?
Oh, are you kidding me? Literally every snap.
First down and 10. Talapapa keeps the legs moving for almost 5. Val Martin, fifth-year senior at 290 pounds, kind of wrapped him up around the waist.
Well, the worst part about guys saying that they're open, Wes, is when you go look at the pictures on the sideline, you know, because they say it to you in mid-drive, and you think, oh, man, I missed one. Then you go look at the sideline, and you're like, bro, you had like 5 guys around you. What are you talking about you were open?
Empty set here for Stone now on 2nd and 5. Back across the middle and dropped. Lavelle Davis had Peyton Wilson with him.
This is interesting. They get Davis inside, you know, and he runs a slant. And, you know, typically the working inside there is for quick guys, but that's a pretty good move on Peyton Wilson. It's zone coverage. And, you know, talking to Robert and I about the things that Lavelle Davis can do. He can run the go, he can run the post, but developing other areas of his game I think are going to be really important as teams try to roll coverage to him and do things to prevent him with shots down the field.
Talapapa in the backfield. Stone back foot, and the intended receiver was Billy Kemp. I think he slipped trying to stop on him, and Virginia faces 4th down. Cavaliers left the punt.
The second time, Wes, you know, Katie referenced how hard it was raining, and you know, it looks like this surface is starting to kind of be a bit of an issue. We saw it earlier on Shane Simpson's run that he fumbled on, and you know, and then that route by Billy Kemp. And footing starting to be an issue.
Here's a jump pass, and it's executed perfectly. Nick Jackson comes up with the pass from Nash Griffin to keep the drive alive.
Well, we've been on the punt team today because of some of the mistakes, but gotta totally redeem yourself here with the jump pass. Is exactly right. I'm not sure I've ever seen a jump pass like that by a punter. That's a well-executed fake punt.
Dave Doran in the rain, head scratching now, thinking, okay, defense got to go get another stop. Virginia scrimmages from the NC State 29. Stone, and that is Terrell Jana. Pickup of about 8 on 1st down.
You know, one of the things that's happening is that coverage is being rolled to Lavelle Davis, and so when that happens and you're playing over the top of him, there should be opportunities inside. In that case, it was with Jana. In this case, it might end up with Poljan, who's at the tight end of the bottom of your screen.
Stone, and caught Kemp. 1st and goal at the 1. Inside against Malik Dunlap on the slant.
Yeah, and it's a good job of Billy Kemp of, again, turning the defender around and then just getting his body inside so the defender can't play through it. And that's a good, accurate throw right into Billy Kemp's chest by Lindell Stone.
9 catches, 78 yards for Billy Kemp. Gives him 26 catches on the season. Now they put Talapapa and Kemp in the backfield. 1st and goal, here's Stone. Giving ground, throws to the end zone. Touchdown for Tony Poljan in Virginia. Jump pass on the fake punt, pays off.
Really pays off. It's a little play action. It's kind of similar to a play they ran a week ago where they were able to get Keontae Thompson running through the backside. They're trying to get Jana here, and then it's a good job of Poljan just pulling up on his route. He's kind of running to the corner, sees that it's covered, sees his quarterback's looking for help, pulls up on the route, and nice job of Lindell Stone finding him.
Delaney adds the point, 10-point game with about 17 minutes to go in Charlottesville. And Lindell Stone is taking Virginia to another touchdown.
And you see what's happening here. It's kind of like power pass. Almost looks like the spider 2-wide banana, if you will, but it's just trying to get it to Jana coming across the field, and he's initially covered. And so now look at Stone. He's got to come off of it, buys a little time, directs a little bit of traffic, and Poljan, who's the former quarterback, probably understands the situation that his quarterback is in and does a good job of kind of finding a window. And Lindell Stone has come in with a kind of a calmness to him and done a really good job in the passing game.
Hey, the beard, the style of play, got a little bit of Fitz magic to him, doesn't he? The way he just kind of makes plays and keeps slinging it.
He's got a lot of Fitz magic to him. He's also, the wedding band is also a Fitz magic move. Still getting used to the 36, though. I'm not sure if that'll feel normal at all in this contest, but he's certainly playing the position well, regardless of number.
And the ball will be kicked out of bounds by Delaney. So a 10-point game with
first down at the 35-yard line.
NC State will get it at 35 after the penalty. And the Wolfpack, who beat Pittsburgh on the road last week, looking for back-to-back road wins for the first time in 2 years. Virginia looking for their 10th straight home win. Would be their third longest home winning streak since 1936.
And you got to think for North Carolina State here, Wes, they got to get something going offensively.
Yep. And Person trying to help. Gets 5 and almost 8 on first down. Brought down by Amos in the secondary. So second down and 2 for Devin Leary. Ooh, 8 of the first 12 of Tim, only 2 of his last 6.
And a turnover, and you just think of the inability to capitalize on some of the things that, you know, their defense and the opportunities their defense had come up with.
Person again on the second and short. Wow, stepped through the traffic and picks up the first down of the 49. Didn't look like he had anything at all. Nice patience by Ricky Person.
I agree with you. It looked like it was bottled up and maybe going to be a negative play. You know, you think about, you know, why Tim Beck thinks the strength of their football team is the running back group. You know, you can see it. Guys that have different abilities, but all of them, you know, pretty good understanding and feel for the scheme they're running.
Leary, a little back foot throw, giving ground, and misses C.J. Riley, the 6'4" grad student from down in Coconut Creek. Katie.
Well, Wes, Ricky Person was in and out all last season with an ankle injury. Prior to that, he dealt with a hip and wrist issue his freshman season, undergoing multiple surgeries. So the first time in his college career, he's fully healthy, and so far, he's done a nice job through his first 3 games. Again, having a good night tonight. But he's in a good place mentally and physically, and it's showing in his on-field production just because of that newfound health.
Here's Person on 2nd and 10, and he'll get into Cavalier territory at 46 before Amos makes the start. I think Person is a guy, too, that, you know, veteran guy who's been through it. We talked about the Virginia game 2 years ago where he had 108 yards on 14 carries. He's also one of those guys that has played enough football that there's a bit of respect for the veteran presence he brings to the lineup. You see Jackson, who just caught the pass on the fake punt a moment ago, slow to get up for the Cavaliers. And I would think that Ricky Person would be somebody, Tim, that Devin Leary's leaning on here a little bit in the early stages of this 2020 campaign, especially the way Leary had to kind of, as you mentioned at the top, sit through the contact tracing and all that type deal.
Yeah, I think that certainly would be a tough experience, being healthy, being out. And you know, Devin Leary had talked quite a bit about the support he received from his teammates. I could see, you know, Ricky Person being a leader and being somebody that's an encouragement in that regard. Grant Gibson, number 50, the center, also another guy that kind of was like, hey, keep your head up. And you in this environment, this 2020 college football season, you're probably going to need everybody.
And Leary tried to quick throw Porter Rooks that time. And another Cavalier is slow to get up. And Devontae Cross, I think, was the guy struggling there as NC State will ask Gill to punt again.
And Wes, I would say this, North Carolina State needs to take advantage of some opportunities. They have a blocked punt and then throw an interception. They get a fumble recovery. That leads to a punt. Get another opportunity here, and Devin Leary just misses an open wide receiver on 3rd down. Now Virginia's getting the football back with a hot quarterback, just down 10.
Yep, Billy Kemp will watch it get toward the end zone. Did NC State touch it enough to get it down at the 1? I think they may have. Heck of an effort by Houston. No, it went to the end zone for the touchback. Kemp signals to the fair catch, and Jordan Houston broke the plane.
Say it's a nice play. Yeah, it's a nice play in the NFL.
Touch the ball after from the plane at the goal line. It's a touchback.
So the ball will belong to Virginia at its 20. Lindell Stone, after Brennan Armstrong was shaken up in the 2nd quarter. Career versus today. Here are the Cavaliers from the 20. And this is Kemp, and hit immediately by Peyton Wilson after a 4-yard gain. And that will get us to the end of the 3rd. 10-point game as we go to quarter 4 at Scott Stadium in Charlottesville. Big Saturday of ACC football. NC State trying for another big road win, leading by 10.
How do we rebuild North Carolina's economy after the pandemic? We've already started with small business grants to help them stay open and keep employed.
4 and Virginia 14. And Cavaliers have outscored opponents 27-7 as we go to the 4th period of play. 2nd down and 6 for Lindell Stone. After Brennan Armstrong was injured, here's Wayne Talapapa. He'll be helped out of bounds by Cecil Powell. Katie.
Well, guys, something interesting to note. Tanner Ingle was disqualified earlier in the 1st half for targeting Brennan Armstrong. I think it's pretty cool that they're allowing now disqualified players to stay out here and be with their teammates rather than having to wait it out in the locker room.
Yeah. He plays hard. He's cheering hard now, Tim.
He is. I think this is a great rule adjustment, Wes, especially on a guy that, listen, I mean, we've seen some of these targeting penalties, and you think he's not a real big guy. You're going and running after a quarterback that's, 220 pounds and tough to get down. And so you can see how some of these things happen in terms of targeting. And so I think keeping the player on the field with his teammates is the right move.
Punt by Griffin, and out of bounds it will be. We get a break in Charlottesville. Wolfpack by 10 and the ball when we come back. Well, early here in the 4th, Tim, 3 Virginia turnovers. When you look at it on the card, a fumble and 2 interceptions in the 1st half. NC State's produced 10 points off those turnovers, and it's a 10-point game. Is it that simple?
I mean, I believe so. I mean, you just look at the way that this 2nd half has gone offensively for North Carolina State. Just missed opportunity after missed opportunity when your defense is doing their job. And I think a bit surprising, Wes, when you say, I mean, just think about, the way that they took advantage of opportunities a week ago, the way Devin Leary has played, the way, they've run the football at times. I think you also have to give credit to this Virginia defense that's continued to fight even when they found themselves in some pretty tough situations.
Yep, 2 yards on the carry for Knight, who stays in the ball game. You see Amezi Thomas and Autenreith to the top of the screen. Devin Carter, and quiet today for the Wolfpack in the boundary at the near side. Here is Leary to throw, inside route, and that's Thayer Thomas, and should be enough for the 1st down. Brenton Nelson, the tackle.
I said earlier, it's about getting that first down with teams that play with tempo, and I think that's a good example of it right there. It's an RPO. It's actually well played defensively, but Thomas does a good job of getting his body inside the underneath coverage, and even in these wet conditions, Leary's able to deliver a good throw.
Yep. 12 yards to the 26. Knight trying to slip to the left side. He had the touchdown run of 35 yards going to this east end of the stadium in the first half, and he almost found the crack there.
This left side of the offensive line, I think, is the strength of the offensive line for North Carolina State. As you see, Aquano kind of coming up a little bit lame on the play there. You just get a lot of movement. They're big, they're physical, and I think they move better than people, think before they play them.
Here's Leary again. Slides through. Flag thrown on the play as Devin Leary gets to the 12, but let's wait and see what the penalty is here.
Offense, number 50. 10-yard penalty, second down.
That's Grant Gibson.
Leary pretty quick to pull this one down. Doesn't like it down the field. You see him take off, and Gibson, a lot of times you get on these these odd fronts, these three-man fronts, the center is on an island all by himself, and without the knowledge that the quarterback is taking off and running, you can find yourself with a handful of jersey.
Looked like he was wrestling with Jawan Briggs, who plays 10 instruments, by the way, Tim. Big nose for the Cavaliers.
Incredible.
Yeah. Knight again. Bam Knight inside the 20 on 2nd and 13. It'll be 3rd and about 3, maybe 4 for the Wolfpack as we go inside of 12 minutes to play. Amos the stop in the secondary.
And if I'm North Carolina State, I'm probably going back to some type of RPO in this situation. It's 3rd and 3. It's really manageable. You're running the football well. And I think just something where if you are throwing the football, it's kind of a clear, defined read based on how the defense is playing.
Persons come back in. Wolfpack goes I formation here. Play fake by Leary. Throw to the flat and underthrown. And that was for Penix. So now 4th down. Clearly in the range of Christopher Dunn is NC State.
And that's just a miss by Devin Leary. It's the 2nd time on 3rd down. We've seen North Carolina State have an open receiver, and Leary just not be able to put the football accurately to the wide receiver, or in this case, the back. And so you almost wonder if just throwing a wet ball is something that's a bit of an issue for him with the way that he's thrown it in the second half.
37-yard try. Dunn will miss. Missed earlier in the ball game from 51 and now misses from 37. 10-point ball game in Charlottesville and a timeout on the field at Scott Stadium.
Customer for life. With so much to love and free shipping with your first order, check out nuts.com.
Well, Dave Doran and NC State lead by 10 with 11:19 to play. And so the Wolfpack, after the missed field goal by Christopher Dunn. And now Virginia will take over with Tim Hasselbeck, Katie George, West Durham. Cavaliers will have it at their 20-yard line, where a moment ago they went 3 and out and punted. And here's Lindell Stone back to work. And ball is intercepted, and going into the end zone is Aleem McNeill. Big man touchdown for the Wolfpack.
I'm glad you said it, Wes. Big man touchdown is right. When you say big man, 320 pounds of McNeill. How about the athleticism? Are you kidding me? Ball's batted up in the air, and He just is able, kind of getting triple teamed, gets his hands on it, is able to find it. Oh my word, what a play by Aleem McNeill. The offense can't get it done, but the defense can. In fact, the nose tackle gets it done.
A guy who, by the way, squats 640 pounds, power cleans 3 1/4, has scored a touchdown for NC State.
After the
Aleem McNeill, an interception return for the score. Amazing.
North Carolina State, number 6, his first of the game. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Wolfpack.
Hey, listen, Wes, but I think it's okay. Like, if you're over 300 pounds and you score a touchdown, I think the celebration rules should be waived.
Will be on the try.
I think it was tagged to Jakeem Harris, but I don't blame you, Tim. I think you're right. I mean, you know he's a great athlete, right? Because you see all the strength numbers. But to make this kind of play right here?
You know, typically when those big guys come down with interceptions, it's somebody else batting the football. They locate it, they're able to recover it. But he did all the work there.
And Dunn will bank the extra point right through, 31-14. After the Stone interception by Aleem McNeill. Look at this.
You know, and Stone's got good protection. He's looking for Jana across the middle of the field, and Aleem McNeill is kind of, as he has 3 guys blocking him, is able to get those big paws up. Ball goes up in the air, and he's able to locate it, catches it. But remember, it's raining out there too. It's kind of wet ball drill. And then, you know, the celebration, I think, is well deserved.
Guys, they're still celebrating down here on the NC State sideline. And as Aleem's still trying to catch his breath, he turned to his teammates and he said, "I know one thing, I'm not no running back." And I think we can all agree with Aleem on that one.
Wow, what a play. And what a big play, Tim, right?
It's a huge play. I would disagree with him. What do you mean he's not a running back? I mean, yes, it was the quarterback trying to tackle him, but I'm going to count that as a broken tackle on the way to the end zone. I mean, a batted pass, an interception, broken tackle. That's well done.
Here is Billy Kemp on the kick. Now Virginia needs a couple of sparks, and a shoe-top tackle by the Wolfpack will give Virginia the ball. That was Max Fisher, who, by the way, was converted from wide receiver to the secondary a couple of weeks ago on the stop. We got another flag down on the play. And Jerry Magallanes.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 40, return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So that'll back up the Cavaliers and Lindell Stone. Brennan Armstrong injured late in the first half. Lindell Stone drove the Cavaliers to their first touchdown late in the first half, right before the break, and then has come back and kind of, you know, through one reason or another, one way or another, Tim, has kind of given Virginia a chance, and they got to within 10 points, and then Stone gets a ball batted by McNeill, who then steps into the end zone, and all of a sudden it's back to 17 points.
And when you think about offensively what had been going on for North Carolina State, interception, punt, missed field goal, that defensive stop and swing of momentum was huge.
Terrell Jana picks it up to out to about the 25-yard line. Throw of 14 on first down. And Stone again. This time underneath Tony Poljan, who had a touchdown earlier in the ball game. Makes the catch right in front of Vi Jones, who had the punt block early in the second half.
And you almost think, Wes, too, that, you know, Stone in at quarterback is probably a better scenario, just seeing what he's done as a passer, than still having Brennan Armstrong there.
Coming up on 5 minutes gone here in this fourth quarter. Virginia cannot wait around now with a 3-score situation. Stone, and this is Shane Simpson, makes a nice move, and he'll scramble toward the midfield stripe. Cecil Powell for NC State on the stop.
Virginia's done a good job of protecting Stone. Wes, I know they like their offensive line, but a fair amount of coverage being played by North Carolina State. But the guys up front have done a really good job protecting Stone and kind of giving him an opportunity to see what's going on downfield.
Tim, what kind of inventory will he have as the backup quarterback maybe this week, though, when it comes down to 2 minutes plus? You know, we saw the drive late in the first half. That's pretty good grasp of the 2-minute set then, I would think, right?
Yeah, typically I would say you don't get a lot, but in this environment, I think most coaching staffs have been preparing to get multiple players, you know, ready to play, because you could find out on game day that players aren't available. So with that being said, I would think, even though Virginia's been developing a young quarterback,
right,
you know, getting opportunities, even, you know, situational opportunities for your backups is critical each and every week.
Now the freshman Booker Brown just helped Stone out of bounds at the NC State 45. So you see it's 4th and 1, and the Cavaliers have no choice here with 9:04 to play. Talapapa will crash right over the top of his center. Oluwatimi to pick up the first down. Or Simpson beg your pardon, Talapapa, right.
You know, based on, you know, how we've seen Lindell Stone play, Wes, I would say that he's gotten a fair amount of work in these situations, and if not, makes this performance even more impressive.
He'll take off, and Peyton Wilson going to track him down, but he's down before the ball popped out. See the tight end, 3 receivers in the set. Stone zips it down the field and almost intercepted. And that time, Jakeen Harris almost had the 5th Virginia turnover of the day.
You know, Stone gets lucky here as Harris drops his football, but basically they're playing so much coverage. It's drop 8 coverage, rush 3. Jakeen Harris is driving on this football. Really no business throwing it by Lindell Stone, and Virginia catches a break there with the dropped pick.
That might be a tough one in the meeting room for Tony Gibson on Monday for Jakeen Harris, huh?
I think so. Based on the reaction of his teammates, I think for all of them.
Stone tried to go back that time to Jana. Spun it by him. And Pierre Lewis, who was disqualified from the Pitt game last week in the first half with a targeting call, was there in coverage. So now 4th and 5 for Virginia again.
Well, Billy Kemp's been the guy. Yep. Billy Kemp's been the guy, and be the guy I would be concerned about if I was North Carolina State.
Stone, and it is caught. Terrell Jana at the 26. And a first down for Virginia with Jakeen Harris there. 10-yard throw on 4th and 4.
It's a good job by Stone here. You're going to see him just kind of give ground. The pressure being brought by North Carolina State, just gives ground, plays with good anticipation, and delivers a good, accurate throw right between the 1 and the 3 to Terrell Jana.
Stone looking for the shot and overthrows Jana, incomplete. Shaheen Battle in coverage for the Wolfpack. Stone has thrown it 42 times, Tim, since coming in the ball game.
I mean, and in not great conditions with the rain, and really kind of been impressed with his poise and calmness. Kind of just saw him you know, signaling to somebody like, hey, we're going to huddle up, relax. We got this under control. His calmness has been an advantage for this offense.
They got rolled back to him, and presence of mind to scoop it up, and he'll get to the 23-yard line before tackle was made by C.J. Clark. Oh, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can.
That's a penalty, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure you can do that. He basically doesn't snap it, and then he bats the ball, kind of like hitting a grounder back to his quarterback. There's a lot going on in that play.
And it is caught in traffic. Jana with Peyton Wilson right there for NC State. And it is enough for the first down at the 15. Stone back across the middle, and Jana, did he hold on? Yes, at the 5. First and goal.
This is a really dangerous play. I mean, he's basically off balance, thrown back across his body into the middle of the field with traffic kind of in the way. That's a dangerous throw. He gets away with it in good hands by Terrell Jana.
And a timeout going to be asked for here.
Timeout.
By NC State.
Their first time out of the half.
We'll step aside as well. 17-point game with 6:16 to go.
ACC Network Football is presented by Geico. Happy Geicoing. You could save even more by bundling home and car insurance.
Well, NC State leading Virginia. 16th play of the drive coming up. Lindell Stone from the gun. Going to the end zone, looking for Kemp. It got batted away. Isaiah Moore was there for NC State. And so now with 6:12 to go, second and goal for the Cavaliers.
You know, with Stone not being the same type of runner that Brennan Armstrong is, I think the offense going to look drastically different down here with Lindell Stone as the quarterback.
Yep. Simpson in the backfield. Stone looking this time. Lavelle Davis, the touchdown catch. What a grab.
So Cecil Powell actually has help inside, so he shouldn't get beat outside like that. Ball is actually not all that great of a throw because it's kind of left low and inside. But the 6'7" Lavelle Davis, good gracious, that is a great play to just kind of use your size, go up and take that football away.
17 plays, 89 yards in 5:02. 5-yard touchdown pass, third of the day for Lindell Stone. And the rising star, Lavelle Davis' third catch, Tim, for a score.
North Carolina State is expecting this. Look at the safety at the bottom of the screen. He's playing the slant, which means Cecil Powell should be playing outside. You have help inside, play outside. He still ends up getting beat outside, and then the ball is thrown inside by Stone, but Davis does a great job. One thing that young wide receivers need to know, does not matter what your route was. You're supposed to run to the back pylon. So that's where you're headed. But the ball is thrown somewhere else. Now your route does not matter. Abandon the route and go play the football. Lavelle Davis did a perfect job of that right there.
Well, you know, Tim, Katie, we talked about this last night after our visit with Bronco Mendenhall about Lindell Davis and the recruiting and all that. 24/7 Sports had him listed a year ago as the number 155 wide receiver coming out of high school. I'd say he's changed the game a little bit on that ranking.
And I would say that, you know, there are plenty of misses in that, you know, plenty of hits as well, but this guy can play football, and I'm not sure that Bronco Mendenhall was expecting him to be this type of player his freshman year.
Onside kick, Ricky Person secures it for the Wolfpack. 6:07 to go. And State a plus territory start at Virginia's 46-yard line. He has emerged quickly in 3 college games as Lavelle Davis Jr. My goodness. Tim, you can't coach some of the things Davis has got.
No, you can't. You can't coach the size, but look, there are plenty of guys that have size that don't play big. And Lavelle Davis has already figured it out. You know, I mean, he's already figured out a way to track the football, play it, and then use that size to his advantage. And
here's Person and Amos, the stop, as NC State looks to get something going on the ground here to see if they can squeeze as much clock as possible.
Yeah, they do need to squeeze some clock. And you know, Devin Leary, Wes, has not thrown the football well in these situations. And you know, if you look back at Davis, you know, maybe he's still growing because he's now 6'7", and he's been playing as if he's 6'7", as you see the schools that Virginia was able to win out on. And he's been a lot of fun to watch so far.
But Jamie Chadwell at Coastal Carolina hates seeing that graphic because he's from the low country in South Carolina, right down there in the neighborhood. You probably felt like you had a fair chance at him to come up Highway 17 and play at Conway, and then all of a sudden he slips out to Virginia. And look what he's doing.
Timeout, Virginia.
Third down coming up. We get a Virginia timeout with 5:14 to play. 10-point game, third down coming up for the Wolfpack.
Support your favorite college at Fanatic.
Urges at Scott Stadium on the sideline for us, and Devin Leary's lined up out wide to the right, Tim. So let's see what happens here. Person and Mims in the backfield, and it's Ricky Person on the 3rd and 5, and the Cavaliers are not fooled. Mandy Alonso, the first orange shirt there.
Timeout, Virginia. Their second timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Cavaliers use their second timeout here in a 10-point game.
You know, and Wes, you think about this, you know, the past 2 third downs, Devin Leary's just missed open players. And, you know, it was a wide receiver on a little out route. It was a fullback in the flat on the previous 3rd down. And then on that 3rd down, 3rd and 5, they go to the Wildcat. They basically say, we're taking the ball out of the quarterback's hands. And obviously the quarterback lined up outside the formation. It's a pretty good signal to the defense of Virginia. They come up with a big stop.
So Gill is going to punt this for the Wolfpack from out at the 43-yard line. Billy Kemp is deep for the Cavaliers. And Gill trying to hang it up for Kemp, and the fair catch, and does so inside the 10 at the 9. So don't forget, following our coverage here in Charlottesville, we will send you to Alumni Stadium at Chestnut Hill, outside of Boston, right off of Comm Ave, for Pittsburgh and BC. Eagles looked strong last week. Tough loss to Carolina. The Panthers, of course, fell to this Wolfpack team. BC won last year, but has not won consecutive games against Pittsburgh since the late 90s. I think that was Mr. Hasselbeck's era.
Wow, is that right?
There you go. The more we can do on this show, Tim. Here's the throw on first down. And this is Poljan, the tight end. And Tony Poljan fights for 4 yards to the 13.
You think about Lindell Stone, Wes. I mean, he's led this Virginia offense to on a 10-play, 97-yard drive and a 17-play, 89-yard touchdown drive as well. And so they find themselves backed up, but he's done it twice already this afternoon.
Yeah, there's a throw and almost picked Jakeem Harris in center field.
This is another one for Harris. It's an opportunity. I'm basically, trying to throw a middle read, and as the underneath coverage is running with Jana, that ball kind of gets away from Stone, and it's one Harris should come down with, but still life left for this Virginia offense.
3rd down and 6. Stone hit as he throws and incomplete. And a flag has been thrown in the secondary on the ball intended for Poljan.
Pass interference, defense number 4. That's a spot foul, automatic first down.
Cecil Powell.
Poljan, 6'7", like Lavelle Davis, and it's just a big man to deal with. And so, Cecil Powell, who's 6 feet tall, just in an effort to not get bodied up by Poljan, grabs a little bit of jersey.
Fresh set of downs for Stone, and off the hands of Talapapa. So 2nd down and 10 with 4:17 to play. 49 throws for Lindell Stone. 29 of 49, 239, and 3 touchdowns today.
And the game plan, Wes, was not to have Brennan Armstrong throw it 50 times.
Nope. Stone cranks it and off the hands of Jana. Tim, it brings up a point. When you lose Armstrong, you lose a very good runner, but you also lose the passing game. So you take away that running exponent that Armstrong provides, it changes what Virginia has to do, clearly.
Yeah, we haven't seen a design quarterback run since, Armstrong left the lineup. And so, that obviously not, the offense we're seeing is not the one they had planned.
And dropped by Talapapa on the cross. Remember, too, Armstrong came in. He was in the top 10 nationally already in percentage of offense in FBS. In fact, who you'll see in the second game, Phil Dracovic, 3rd nationally, leads the ACC in quarterback production percentage. But Brennan Armstrong, after 2 starts, was already in the top 10. So here's 4th and 10 with 4:07 to go. Stone down the middle and broken up. Wolfpack looked like they might have had a crack with Devin Boykin, the true freshman from Greensboro, North Carolina, sliding across to deflect it away, and Virginia gives it up on downs.
They're just trying to hit Jana down the middle of the field, and Boykin does a good job of reading Stone's eyes and is able to fall off of kind of his coverage responsibilities, make a play on the football. As we're looking at Stone, that's pretty gutsy effort by him today, coming off the bench, throwing it as many times as he threw it. And Virginia back out on the field defensively, trying to find another way to get a stop.
And Bam Knight carries it. And the whistles blow. Virginia only has 1 timeout remaining.
Timeout, Virginia. Their third and final timeout of the half.
Use it right here with 3:57 to play. Don't forget 7:30 tonight on ABC. Number 7 Miami and number 1 Clemson. Trevor Lawrence and De'Aaron King squaring off, but we have seen the Tigers here win, Tim, 35 consecutive regular season games, 24 of them at home. It's an amazing situation.
Yeah. The job that he has done building, a culture of winning has been remarkable. And, they obviously have really talented players, but you and I see it every single year. The most talented players, aren't the best football teams. You still have to build a team. And so, yes, they have talent, but they've done a great job of turning that talent into really good teams and then doing it year over year as guys leave to go to the National Football League, and they replace them with other guys that are unselfish and kind of buy into what they're doing there. So they've done a great job. They have good players, and I'm excited to watch that one tonight.
Yep. 2nd down 8. And the inside give is to Knight. And look at Bam Knight driving it all the way down to the 10-yard line on 2nd and 8. And the sophomore is really flashing here today in the ground game.
Coaches love plays like this. You're in your 4-minute offense. Everybody knows you're going to run the football. You give it to your back, and he just won't stop carrying defenders. Try to reach for that 1st down.
And it just continues to move the clock for the Wolfpack. And you see Devin Leary is going to let this wind all the way down. And here's going to be a penalty.
Delay of game, defense, number 7, using the clapping signal. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Oh, Noah Taylor for a rarely seen delay of game, simulating the snap. Is the linebacker. See that on Sundays more than you do on Saturdays, Mr. Hasselbeck.
You know, before people started going to the clap as the cadence, you know, you would have defenders, you know, yelling hut, hut, doing that type of stuff to get the offensive line to jump. And, officials could never figure out where it was coming from. Now with a clap, you can see a guy do it. It helps them make that call.
There's the clap and the handoff to Knight. Bam Knight. And on 1st and goal, drives it to maybe the 2 with 2.5 to go.
A little coaching point for Devin Leary on that, though, is you're letting the clock run all the way down. You want to snap the ball with 1 second left on the play clock. You do not want your offensive line, who have now played, whatever they've played, over 70 snaps offensively. You don't want to allow them to get into their stance and just wait for 15 seconds. So, help the big boys out a little bit, slow it down a little bit before you let them get set, so they're not sitting in their stance forever.
2nd and goal, play clock winding down. And here is Knight finishing the drive with the touchdown. Bam Knight gets his 2nd score on the ground today. And with 1:49 to go, NC State on the way to their 3rd win of the year.
I'm saying reward the big boys a little bit. Don't snap until they get in their stance. They barely get in their stance. Snap the ball with 1 second. They come flying off the ball. And it's a walk-in for Bam Knight. Dylan Ottenreith doing a good job leading the way.
And in a 37-21 game, Christopher Dunn will try and add the point. And it's now 38-21. Well, one of the really nice people in all of college football is Ruffin McNeill, who is a special advisor to the head coach, special assistant to the head coach, Dave Doran at NC State. But you see his tie to Virginia in 2016 as Bronco Mendenhall's assistant head coach. And this has kind of been a bit of a homecoming today for Ruffin McNeill, Katie.
Yeah, it absolutely has, and boy has he impacted both of these programs in the single year that he was with Virginia, and then obviously already in the short amount of time that he's been on Dave Doran's staff. I thought it was interesting, both coaches seem to really love this man. Doran said, there's people in this world who are takers while some are givers, and Ruff is certainly the latter. He gives you his time, his respect, and his love every single day, helping Doran make day-to-day decisions. Whereas Bronco Mendenhall added that no matter where McNeill goes, he impacts programs, cultures for the better, Virginia being one of those, Wes.
Well, his ties to Virginia with Bronco Mendenhall originated from his work with Robert Knight, the Cavalier offensive coordinator out at Texas Tech. He is well known in the state of North Carolina for not only being on the staff with Jerry Moore at Appalachian State, and there he is with Coach Knight before the game, and you can imagine those stories, right, Tim? He was with Jerry Moore at Appalachian State, and then he was with East Carolina, where he hired a young offensive coordinator named Lincoln Riley, who then became, you know, Bob Stoops' guy, and then ultimately the head coach of the Sooners. That's why he went back to Oklahoma. And Tim, you and I have been around enough football. Katie has as well. We know they're guys like this, but Ruffin McNeill's a special human being in college football for sure.
You know, it's interesting to hear both, you know, Dave Doeren and Bronco Mendenhall talk about just the influence he can have on the culture of your football team, the locker room. And, you know, when you're trying to improve it, you want people around, as Katie said in the report of what, you know, Bronco said. And, you know, there are takers and there are givers. Obviously a giver of his time, his attention. And, you know, I think in this time of college football with a lot going on, whether it's, you know, stuff inside your locker room or outside your locker room with the pandemic, you name it, it's always good to have good people around your program.
Well, Coach Ruff celebrated a birthday yesterday. There have been stories written about him in the last couple of years. He was very controversially fired as the head football coach at East Carolina. And in some respects, that program's had a hard time recovering, although with Mike Houston now in charge, it looks like the Pirates have got it up and going on the right rail. But Ruffin McNeill is just one of the nicest and kindest gentlemen. And Bronco Mendenhall told us, he said, you feel better about your day when you see Ruffin McNeill. And they shared a story. Jim Daves did, the longtime communications head here at Virginia, shared a story about Ruffin. Said when he first came to Charlottesville, your Bronco and his staff have Sundays off. And Ruffin was in the office at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, wanting to know where everybody was. But he is just a wonderful, wonderful gentleman and a true delight. And I know this has been it's been a fun day for him, and now his new team, if you will, the Wolfpack, and they're going to get a very, very important win. And there you see him. I'm sure there's some counsel for Tim Beck, right?
Well, there certainly is, and you know, I think that one of the things that came up when we were talking about him was, you know, his desire to mentor young coaches, and that's really how, you know, Dave Doeren was first introduced to him. He was, you know, a GA at USC, and you know, developed a relationship. And you know, I do think that team chemistry in your coaching staff and on your football team is something that should be valued, and both of these coaches value it, and it's kind of, you know, why they have respect for Ruffin McNeill.
That's a free play for Virginia. NC State was offside on a ball intended downfield.
Offside, defense number 58.
That was
5-yard
Rashawn
penalty.
Henry, number
Results in
17, with
the clock will start on the
also
snap.
Hayden Mitchell, the two young receivers for, well, Henry actually is a senior transferred from St. Francis. He's a grad transfer. Mitchell, junior from Richmond and St. Christopher's. Dave Doeren, by the way, is going to move into third all-time on the NC State win list today. This will be win number 50 in Raleigh for Dave Doeren. And he will be just 2 games behind Dick Sheridan. Earl Edwards posted 77 wins as the head coach in Raleigh during his tenure in the 1960s. But a nice win now for the Wolfpack, and 2 very impressive wins, Tim, in a row by Coach Doeren's team.
Yeah, it's a good job by him of winning a football game where his offense didn't play their best, but kind of a tough performance by their defense, and something to build on with Devin Leary as their quarterback.
Great to be with Katie George, Tim Hasselbeck, our producer today, Evan Cohen, our director, Dennis Lanius, and thanks to our great ACC Network crew.